What's up, guys? This is my current up-to-date Ancient Omni deck profile for post-LM set. We are still playing Omnimon. Whenever you have a blue Tamer, you get a draw card. Very nice. We have our BT17 Post-Nut Clarity Gabumon. He's looking at his hand like, man, what did I do? This is your end-of-turn DNA Inheritable. And then also start of main phase, if you have Matt, you may draw a card. 4 of the old BT15 Gabumon. Start a main phase, give somebody blocker, and then if you have Matt, draw a card. Draw a card is inheritable. 3 of the Drabumons, on play, draw 1. You can use this to trigger off a Ancient Garu bounce, or you can use this to circumnavigate Mirage. I can tell you about that in a little bit. 4 level 4s, we are playing 3 Promo Lobo and 1 Korikaku. Promo Lobo, once you see 1, that's the only number you ever need to see, so seeing it at 3 is fine. With how much searching you can do in this deck and recycling it from the trash, it's fine at 3. And then Korikaku, just so you have that option for hybrid for game. I would run Lobomon, just so it's all Lobos, because, you know, the BT4 alt art's pretty cool, but Ruin mode exists, unfortunately, so we have to play Korikaku for that 6k DP. Next, we don't play any level 5s. We're just going to jump straight into the Ancient. This card's really broken. It's real nice, just being able to warp into it for 3 memory, bounce a card to your opponent's hand, bounce the security to the hand, like you're doing really good stuff, and then when he dies, you get to play a Tamer and recycle any level 4 hybrid, so you can, of course, grab either of these, and then you get to grab a Tamer from the trash and play it. It's pretty nice. We are playing 3 copies of the BT15 Metal Garu. Of course, when he comes out, he can stun 3 cards, Tamers or Digimon. He has Invade, and then all turns once per turn when he suspends, unsuspend him. Your next Omnimon piece is your War Greymons. He's currently at a 3 of right now, still testing how I feel about that. With how much searching I've added to the deck, I feel like 3 is okay. So on play or when digivolving, you can either delete something with 8,000 DP, or you can warp a Gabumon into a Metal Garu. And then, of course, whenever you have a tie on the board, you can reduce his play cost by 3 to make him an 8 play. And then his inheritable is when attacking, if you're Omnimon, trash security. Next, main man himself. We are, of course, running 4 Omnimons. Really looking forward to getting that binder here in a month or 2 to bling these guys out. But he is your ace. He blast evos for Wargrey and Metal Garu, but he can regular DNA from a Garu and a Greymon level 6. So you can DNA with any combination of these 3, as long as you have these 2 as your Garu and this is your Grey. But you can only blast DNA with these 2. You can't blast DNA with him, unfortunately. He has Raid, he has Blocker, and then on play when digivolving, if DNA digivolved, you can choose one of your opponent's level and then bot deck all of the same level, including that Digimon you chose. And then you can delete one Digimon. The deleting one Digimon is no matter what, if you on play him or when digivolving him. So that's nice, he can just be a walking removal. We of course play the 1 copy of Alter B. He's your game ender. He de-evos 3 when he comes out, pops a 6k, or a 6k, a 6 play cost, and then when attacking, you can bottom deck 3 level 6 or highers to trash 2 security and delete your opponent's 3 lowest play costs, or up to the number of level 6s or higher you trashed. Next, we go up to our Tamers. A lot of Tamers. First things first, 4-bat. This is your main draw engine. You want to see as many of these as possible, as soon as possible. Normally, your first turn play, you want to go Gabumon in the Raising with Matt out. That is your optimal first turn play. Of course, every single time you promote, it is not a once per turn. You get to draw a card, and you get to gain a memory, which is super broken. You don't even care about the rest of the card. Doesn't matter, you don't play Bond. Currently only running 3 copies of the end of turn swing. I feel like that's probably all you need in this deck. It's really good, but I feel like 3 is fine. So all turns, when you play a Digimon or digivolve a Digimon, you can tap this to check your board, and if it sees a Garu or a Grey, you can gain 1 memory for each one. So if you have both, you get 2 memory. If you only have 1, you get 1 memory. And then end of your turn, 1 Digimon with Omnimon in the name can attack a player. 2 copies of Matt Sora. Honestly, you really only use this for the memory gain effect. So if your opponent has 8 cards in hand, gain 1 memory. If you have 8 cards in hand, gain 1 memory. And that is start of main phase. And then your turn, when a blue or red Digimon unsuspends, you can tap this to bounce a level 3 back to your hand. almost never comes up. You really only use it for the name and for the extra memory. We do play one memory setter tie. Not only does this work as a tie name, but having a memory setter is another great way to duck a Mirage player. Again, I can tell you guys about that combo in a second, but anytime you redirect an attack, you get a draw card and get 2000 DP, and again, it works with tie as the name, so you can play that for free sometimes, and it helps you reduce the cost of your War Greymon. Next, bumping this up, we're playing a full 4 Analog Youth. Being able to fill your trash with Tamers actually doesn't feel too bad in this deck because the Ancient can recycle them, and then on top of that, whenever your Ancient goes to commit Slip Inside, he can pull turn back in. We like searching, and we like being able to get our turn back. Next, the 1 Louis. He's at 1, so we can only play the 1. So on play, you can promote. If you can play this for free off your Ancient Garu with a Gabu and the Raising, your BT6 mat's already on the board, you can play this for free off the Ancient and then promote to gain memory. It's pretty disgusting if you ever have that option as like a play line. And then of course, whenever you do promote, you can just tap this to gain a memory as well. Really stupid card. There's a reason it's at 1. Next, 3 copies of Miraculous Mega Knight. This is your trap card. This is your haha, joke's on you, you can't out my board. So main, you can play a Agumon or a Gabumon from hand or trash without paying the cost. So it turns your level 3s into a 2 cost. And then all turns, when any of your level 6 Digimon with Greymon or Garurumon in its name would leave the battle area, other than by battle, you can delay, DNA that card into Omni instead. Pretty broken, pretty disgusting if you get that to proc. Your opponent really has to think about it. And then the final 2 cards, Blue Scramble. So because of how this deck works, you only ever really sit on level 3s, and those level 3s warp. So playing a level 3 at the start of your turn, it just really synergizes really well. The reduction of the Evo cost doesn't really matter. Sometimes I will just play this card with nothing on the board or nothing to Evo, just so I have it set up and ready for the next turn. But if you can reduce the Metal Garu from a 4 Evo to a 3 Evo, which is nice. But you're normally using it to recycle your Ancient Garus from trash to the top of deck and to play your Gabumons back out. So this is actually how you ditch the Mirage. So basically what you do is if you have a memory setter, they have a Mirage, and you have a Scramble setup, and you have access to Drabumon, basically you have your Blue Scramble proc, start of turn, you play the Gabumon's going to draw you whatever you top deck, the Mirage is going to trigger, then they'll gain the memory, and then you can say start of turn tie to gain the memory back. So you can dodge Mirage that way. So that's a really good combo. That's really niche, but it can come up. Other than that, the Scramble is just really good for setting up a Gabumon to turn into an Ancient, or a Gabumon that's going to soon become an Omnimon. This deck's super aggressive. It's really fun. The only issues it comes up with is sometimes you have hands where you can't really do much because you're a little cluttered with a lot of level 6s or a lot of Tamers, not enough Gabumons or something to push out with. But if this deck pops off, it absolutely pops off. So yeah, it's really strong. But if you guys like this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you next time.